Thank you, Ms. Miller. And thank you to all our panelists for joining us today to talk through this issue. You know, today people all over the world are looking to the United States for medical advancements and cures. And many of us on this roundtable have benefited from American ingenuity in the medical field. In Congress, we should be doing more to look at how can we encourage innovation and foster an environment that leads to more cures. Unfortunately, my colleagues on the other side of the aisle continue to push their top-down government takeover of prescription drugs, a policy that we know is going to hinder the creation of new life-saving treatments. Even more concerning now with the unelected bureaucrats at CMS that have taken upon themselves to entirely disregard the expertise and the decisions of the FDA. Obviously, that move's not going to go further government overreach, but it's also going to limit our seniors' access to new and innovative drugs. Instead, we should be looking for bipartisan solutions that lower drug costs, lead to new medical cures and treatments, and prevent the federal government from stopping the advancement of our medical community. Mr. Mathers, in your testimony, you highlighted that to the public, this issue may seem like a simple bureaucratic fight. But could you explain the different types of professionals CMS versus the FDA employee that would lead this administrative move to have such devastating consequences?
So we work with the Division of Rare Diseases and Medical Genetics at the FDA, which is located in the Office of Rare Diseases. This division and all the professionals that I interact with are scientists, biostatisticians, medical doctors, toxicologists, and pharmacologists. They do nothing but pour through every ounce of data. And I can tell you it's painful. It's like having a root canal every single day or a colonoscopy, pick your poison. So it's not fun, but it's certainly a very extensive, thorough, and necessary process to ensure that we as Americans are able to access safe and potentially effective treatments as soon as possible. Do I wish it was faster? Yes. Do I wish it was less like a colonoscopy or root canal? Absolutely. But I generally believe this is a nonpartisan organization. Everyone wants to do the right thing and bring new treatments to patients. It's all about these children behind me. You interact with CMS, you're dealing primarily with economists. You're looking at folks who are skilled in policy, working at high levels of reimbursement and navigating more of the pharmacoeconomic landscape. Their mandate and their staffing is not set up to adjudicate in the way the FDA can the safety and efficacy of a potential treatment. So in some ways, you're taking a document authored by FDA, written in FDA speak, and bringing it to CMS and looking for an interpretation of the same data. It's just not going to happen. There's just not that fidelity. Like I said from previous comments, let them figure out how to get this reimbursed, work with the sponsor to do so, but don't just flat out deny coverage to a whole class of drugs that potentially have major benefits in a very, very vulnerable population.
Yeah, it really is. We need to make sure that the best decisions are made by the folks that have the best resources and knowledge around that. You know, one of the things, you know, as you were just talking through both with me as well as others, you talked about, you know, the differences in the agencies and I think the concern we have, and I assume you share this, is that it will reduce the quality of life for patients with the neurodegenerative diseases or other rare diseases as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, if you think about the children affected by Sanfilippo, we just want to get this broadly distributed to as many children in the United States as possible. And what we do is not easy. We implant a catheter into the brain of these children. They're dosed once weekly to prevent the progression of this terrible disease. And we're talking about children who can't go to school, who may not sleep for 2 days, 3 days, sometimes straight, who all lose their hearing, who all lose their ability to communicate with their parents. So as you think about just a horrible situation that is, you know, to have this decision tangential to what I'm working on in Sanfilippo, you know, This decision impacts the ability for FDA to have confidence to approve something and to know that we'll have it reimbursed so it can be accessed by patients.
Well, thank you. And I'm out of time. I'll yield back.